Hello, Leo, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of September the 24th through October the 7th, 2024. This is a reading if you are Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising, or have another significant Leo placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. I do things according to the 12 houses of astrology. I know probably this looks like a little bit of a mess, but you'll see how it all comes together. I use Murray Hope's Way of Cartouche. That is my main deck, which are these cards you see underneath. And then I will clarify with a tarot deck. This week we are using the, it's called Tarot Classic. You can see my really old box here. But now it's called, there's another name for it now. Like if you wanted to go on Amazon and buy it, there's a different name. But it's really the Tarot of Marseille is what it is, which is really a facsimile edition of a very old tarot deck. One of the first ones from France. So that's our extra deck today that we're using to clarify. And then, of course, for our Oracle card deck for this week will be the Essential Oil Oracle. Okay. So also just quickly mention, in the description box below is a link to my website and also to my social media. If you're interested in any of my services, in addition to doing readings, I also do like this mega reading, which I call the life path reading, which is astrology, human design, tarot, oracle, all of that in kind of one 2 to 3 hour session. And then I also, and also do a lot of prep work on that one. And then I also have channelings that I do. I also have other services, spiritual coaching and other things, Rahani healing, Reiki healing. Anyway, it's all on my website if you're interested in checking any of that out. Okay, we're moving out of the energy of the lunar eclipse that was on the 17th of September, which is last week. And that was in Pisces. And yeah, eclipses always bring upsets. Sometimes they bring information to light. They can bring shocks. They can bring little mini earthquakes, in a figurative sense. Hopefully not literal, but maybe literal too. Who knows? And so there's this definite sense here that we and what I'm hearing from people, from clients and from other people, is that these little kinds of wake up calls have been occurring. And of course, we have another eclipse coming on the 2nd of October, which is during the duration of this reading, and that is the solar eclipse in Libra. And we also have Venus moving into Scorpio. There's a lot of shifts that are going on here these are very, very significant shifts, and we are definitely moving into a space where we are being called to do certain things differently, and they always wake us up to certain truths. Now, how this is going to affect you. Well, first of all, I feel like this could be, you may have an opportunity now to have a release of the tension on you. You've got the Six of Swords in the first house with the Ankh. And Ankh is about focusing on yourself. It's about loving yourself. Six of Swords is about moving away from an anxious situation, saying, I'm not taking on other people's angst and anxiety. I am moving into calmer water. When the Six of Swords shows up, we are ready to move away from a space where we are feeling anxious all the time. And if you feel like you have not been doing that lately, then this is definitely telling you that this is the right thing to do. You need to be your own focus right now. We are seeing financially, okay, we've got something here. I've got Hathor with the Five of Wands. Okay, so Five of Wands can indicate distractions. It can indicate competition. I don't know if this is competition for resources. You have the strong feminine card here, which is Hathor. So it does seem, Hathor often has to do with things that are connected to, the immediate thing is things connected to beauty. So people like maybe, I don't know, spending money on getting their hair done a certain way, or, getting nails done, eyelashes done, all the kinds of things that we might do that are aesthetic. That maybe there's some competition for resources. Maybe we feel like as part of self-care, maybe we feel we need to do some of that. Hathor can also indicate somebody who is female, literally somebody who's female, who has some kind of an influence on your financial situation. But there's definitely a sense of competition for resources here, or maybe just even a struggle about what you need to be spending your money on. This is not a terribly serious struggle. And I don't know, Hathor here, while it can mean a number of different things in the second house, I can't help feeling like there's a retail therapy element to this. But this can also be about getting your finances organized. So there may be a push-pull between what you want to do for yourself and what you feel you should be spending money on to get your finances organized. We are seeing something going on here. You have you've got the Seven of Wands with Crook and Flail, and this is in the communications house. So this almost feels like maybe you've been criticized or feel like you need to stand your ground or maintain your position on something. Something where now crook and flail has to do with authority. Sometimes it has to do with legal matters. So I don't know if that's connected in any way. It could have to do with legal contracts. It could have to do just with something where you have some kind of a visibility for something, and where you are kind of determined to stick to what it is that you feel is right in a particular situation or in a particular disagreement. If there is any kind of dispute, this would say that you are in the right when the crook and flail comes up. This is like, and it also indicates that if you think you are stepping on someone's toes, this would be saying that you're not. So I don't know. I feel like you're kind of like standing up for yourself with something here, and it is saying you are within your rights to do so when this card shows up in the Gemini house. Okay, Cancer house. This is interesting. Okay, because we've got the Knight of Pentacles with air, and this is the house of your home, family. And these are almost two opposite cards, because Knight of Pentacles is like, let's move slow and steady. And air is like, let's move. So these two elements seem to be, I don't know, in contention with each other. I don't know. Sometimes this has to do with communications that are family related. Something where maybe there's a need to take things one step at a time, or have slow and steady progress with something. Maybe you feel like something is moving too slowly right now. That's a possibility as well. Or maybe you're ready to move home, because air in the fourth house can mean that you literally want to physically move, or maybe somebody in your family is physically moving. But I feel like it's something that maybe is going to be on the agenda for the future. But right now, I feel like there's a sense of needing to address something that's practical, needing to consider things. And again, this is the idea of slow and steady progress towards something. So I have a feeling you're ready to move on in some way from either a family situation, or you want to literally move, but there may be some financial issues and such to sort out. Now, in terms of work, we have you've got Sirius with the King of Cups here. Okay. And one thing I'm noticing, just so far, there's a lot of 6 energy in this reading. The number 6 seems to be important for you, Leo, in this period of time. So I don't know if that's a 6-day or 6-week period or whatever. I'm noticing Sirius, 1 + 5 is 6. You've got the Ankh, which is 24. 2 + 4 is 6. You've got the 6 here. And I just saw another 6 somewhere else. Well, this is the 6 too. So we'll see if we count any other ones. But so far, I mean, that does seem to be an influence. Okay, so Sirius, this has to do with work. Okay, this can have to do with work that you get paid for, like if you have an employer. And I say that because some people are in business for themselves, some people, are retired, some people, if you're working for somebody, that would be the element of this house. It's also can have to do with pets and domestic animals. It can also have to do with things you're worried about. It can also be health issues. Certainly on the health front, if health is a question, when Sirius shows up here, this would be saying that more exercise, more physical activity is something that would be beneficial to you right now. If this does have to do with work, Sirius seems to indicate enduring a lot, like having a lot on your plate. And sometimes it's what I call the work smarter, not harder card. There's an idea that you want to not necessarily look at something always the same way or do something always the same way. There's like breadth of vision, like trying to do things in a new way. So it doesn't necessarily mean changing jobs, but it can mean just finding a different way to do your job. But I do feel like there's been some hoops you've been jumping through recently, some things that you're doing that maybe have been a little taxing. Maybe you need to control the emotions here with the King of Cups. Sometimes this can indicate romance at work or at a job, or somebody who is a love interest. I mean, that's not out of the question, but does not necessarily have to be the case. King of Cups usually has to do with the correct expression of emotions in a particular situation. So for some of you, maybe there is worries about a work romance or something that's going on where you feel like you're being pressed to do the right thing or the ethical thing, and to control your emotions in some way. Now, if we go up here, now it's interesting, because in your career house, you've got the Ace of Cups, which is kind of like a new love or a new romance. But again, doesn't have to be. You've got the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups in these work houses. So there definitely seems to be an emotional component to either some kind of, to the specific work that you're doing, or to or in connection with somebody involved in your work. But you do have Buckle of Isis here, so I feel like there are changes you are making, or there's a sacrifice that you need to make with regard to your career that will be rewarded. Okay, so if you are seeing that I'm seeing a lot of hard work down here with Sirius, you could be doing a lot of work right now. Maybe you have certain feelings about, it could just even just be about the job itself, and you're, maybe feeling like, is this worth all the effort that I'm putting in? And this would more or less indicate, yes, that, whatever you're doing, whatever sacrifices you're making are going to be rewarded. That said, if some of you, for some of you, this could literally mean that you want to sacrifice the job you're in for something else, for another new beginning that's maybe more emotionally satisfying. Again, it'll depend on the person. I'm not going to, it can really go either way. And this is a general reading, so I don't want to put too fine a point on that. But there's definitely the idea that giving something up is going to yield a happier new beginning, or efforts that you have put in are going to be rewarded with this kind of positive change. Ace of Cups is always like new messages, new opportunities, which can literally have to do with love, but they can also just be something that is emotionally satisfying to you. And remember, we're talking about you being focused on what makes you happy. So I think that's going to be a big focus for you, whether you're staying with your job and putting the work in, or whether you're choosing to do something else. Let's go to the 9th house, Sagittarius energy. This is about you expanding your horizons. It could be long distance travel, higher ed. It can have to do with spirituality. Whatever it is, this is about you expanding your horizons. And there's definitely a sense here, the 3 of Pentacles is when you are being recognized for something that you're doing. Again, we're seeing a lot here around recognition. A lot of people are getting recognition for things right now. So this could be somebody at a distance. This could be, recognition for something educationally, or maybe you'd be recognized. Maybe you'll be partnering with people on something that either has to do with long distance travel, or maybe it is an educational thing. Maybe it's a training thing. I mean, who knows? But we have that with Sphinx here. So Sphinx is this kind of wait and see energy. Like there's something secret about this, or something that has not come about yet. I feel like whatever this can also be like a collaboration. So I feel like whatever's coming up, it's not something that's on your radar right now. It's something that's unseen. Sphinx indicates, this can also be about, this is also a card of uncovering secrets. So I don't know. I feel like if there is some kind of collaboration at a distance, or if there is some kind of an opportunity, or maybe whether it might be for training, it might be to take a trip, it might be for any number of things, but this might be saying wait until you have all the information on something. The number 3 is significant here too. 2 + 1 is 3, and then we have a 3. So this could be something in the next 3 days to 3 weeks that could be going on here. So yeah, so something coming up about a business trip or training, or something with, like I said, whether you're the teacher or the student. I just feel like there's more information that you're waiting for here. Like you need to wait and see. The fact that it's showing up that way makes me think that there could be something that you're undecided on with this. So yeah, so I feel like there's more information coming on whatever that opportunity is going to be, or whatever that collaboration might be. Okay. In your 11th house, Aquarius house. So this has to do with your hopes and wishes, what you're trying to manifest, and also friendships, your social networks. Yeah. You've got Sept here. So there's something that maybe you're trying to manifest, or this has brought up some relationship issues with people, or spats with friends, or with people who you are in your network. There could be some disagreements here. There could even be some with fire. There could even be some, maybe that's why control of the emotions is showing up here. It could be something where you're feeling frustrated, or feeling like your temper's flaring about something. And this could be in regard to a friendship, a work relationship, or it could be just something that you're trying to manifest, that you're getting frustrated that things are not moving ahead. Yeah, because you got the 4 of Pentacles here. There's the idea that things are kind of, things aren't getting any worse, but they're not getting any better. It's kind of like you're trying to hang on to something that you've got. Sometimes the answer when the 4 of Pentacles shows up is that it's not that you necessarily want to hang on to what you've got. You may need, again, you're next to this Buckle of Isis. You may need to let go of something in order to gain your wishes. Like hanging on to things And again, you've got this Seven of Wands energy down here too. So I don't know. There's a sense here that you may be clinging on to something with a great deal of passion about it too. With fire, but there's also a desire here to resolve a certain problem. That's something that's stuck and that's not moving. We're also seeing this stuck energy over here in the 8th house, which is your house of transformations, a Scorpio energy. You've got Urias here. So yeah, Urias seems to indicate something is not as it appears to be, and you have it with the 8 of Swords. So in some way, there's some kind of a change and you are thinking yourself into a corner. I feel like you have an opportunity to make a change, to do something that's going to make you really, really happy. But you're a bit suspicious of it, like, you know, or it's something, there's some reason you're thinking this can't possibly be, or it's not going to happen, or you may be looking at things only one way. I mean, Sirius is also about not looking at things the same way. You may need to, again, think outside the box. I feel like with Urias here that there's a change coming and it's not going to go the way you expect. Urias shows up when there's kind of a curveball, but it's not a negative curveball. It generally indicates outwitting adversaries. So if somebody doesn't have your best interests at heart, this indicates you coming out on top. This also in this house would indicate the 8th house is a very esoteric kind of a house. So this could indicate that you already have a strong intuitive sense about something, about how it's going to go, but I think your mind may be getting in the way. So yeah, so with current changes that are happening, or perspective changes, or the threshold that you seem to be at, this seems to be saying, take the mind out of the equation, because it's not necessarily going to go the way you logically expect it to go. Yeah, and I think there's some fears here of something coming to an end. In your Pisces house, you've got the 10 of Swords. Maybe you're a fear of betrayal here, or a fear of something just really being dead and coming to an end. There seems to be a lot of anxiety about it with Lotus here. So you're really concerned about making a certain ending, like that there's going to be something about it that's negative, or that's a betrayal. Because 10 of Swords is like where you feel like you're stabbed in the back with something. So I don't know. There definitely seems to be a strong feeling about this, but I feel like being this is showing up in the 12th house, I feel like that, and also the fact that Urias is showing up in the 8th house, I don't think things are going to go as badly as you think they are, or that if something's going to end, that it's going to be as the result of some kind of betrayal. Whatever's going out of your life it's something that's meant to go out of your life right now. That's the thing you've got to remember, and not be anxious about the change. Let's see. Okay. If you're interested in love and relationships, which you may or may not be, I mean, you could be in a relationship, or you could be single and not looking, but if you're single and looking, okay, or you have somebody you're dating or somebody in mind and you're wondering how it's going to go. Okay, we've got Pyramid with the 8 of Cups. Now, 8 of Cups is a strong eclipse card for me, okay? In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it actually shows a solar eclipse on the card. So I feel like eclipse energy is either dealing with a creative project that you have, maybe even a child if you have children, or a love affair, okay? This is the Leo house. This is actually your own house. So it's creativity, children, love affairs in particular. There's a couple other aspects of this house as well, but those are the main ones. This is also a house of recognition. This is about walking away from something that has served you well. Like it's time to, you know, this has served its purpose for the time, and it's time to move on. And I feel like you're being challenged to do that. You have the Pyramid card here. There's been challenges. Again, whether this has to do with a love affair, a situation with a child, or a project you're working on, you are being challenged to let go of something and to move ahead. Or maybe it's a sacrifice you need to make for a relationship to happen. But I'm seeing over here in the 7th house, which is the Libra house. This is more of the committed relationship, partnerships, marriage partnerships. It can be business partnerships too. It's Libra energy, but we have Scarab with the Devil. So the Devil seems to indicate being tied to a bad situation, like the need for something new here. This can, in some cases, indicate like lust. It can indicate physical attraction, or maybe an attraction that is purely physical. But I can't help but feeling like there's some kind of relationship or connection you have that that's an attachment that I think you feel like you can't get out of in some way, or something where you feel, again, there's this energy of feeling stuck and trapped. But the fact that you've got the 8 of Swords, the Urias card here, that says to me that not necessarily so. There does seem like there's going to be a new beginning here of some kind. So some kind of a change is coming through. And this may, you may be tested or challenged to let go of something. Now, of course, we always have free will. So whether you choose to walk away or not, you will have the opportunity to do so. Or there's going to be an opportunity at least to think about. Overall, you've got the Earth card. So this is definitely telling you to say, remain grounded and earthed, not to, to focus on the practical. We've got this Knight of Pentacles under here. There's the idea of one step at a time. Something is in the process of growing. And obviously you want to be focusing on yourself here, and you want to be focusing on what's practical, what's going to provide you with security. We do have the Nine of Wands here. So I definitely feel like energetically you've been very drained, and you're trying to, you're ready for something to be done. Like the Nine of Wands is like, okay, it's the wounded warrior. Like you've played this game enough times and you're done with it. But this is saying that whatever, things seems like they're going to be slowing down a little bit, okay? Moving a little more slowly, and that the idea of doing things in a bit of a more practical, logical kind of manner makes more sense than trying to do things in an emotional manner or overthinking them at this point in time. And this does seem to indicate you pushing through to the finish line. Like I feel like the Nine of Wands is saying, you're going to get to where you're trying to get to. And you don't need to be afraid of endings or worried about endings. Right now, the main way through whatever, I don't want to call it a crisis, but whatever it is that you're going through right now, or maybe you have to make a decision and you're undecided, is it saying whatever decision you make should be about your own emotional welfare, as well as the material welfare. Whatever it is, you want to make sure you're going to feel secure. And security is not just about money. Security is also about what makes you feel comfortable, like you want to do this all day, or all the time, or that that your time and your personal health and your personal your own self, loving yourself and being caring towards yourself has to be a priority here, is what I'm seeing. Okay, I pulled the essential oil card. We have Siberian fir this week, and the key word is acceptance. The trigger statement is, we must remember. The true statement is, I am free of habits that do not serve me. Lay down the armor passed down to you from your family. Release habits that are not serving you and forgive on behalf of generations past. Okay, so this suggests to me that you need to be focused on yourself, but I think the conflict is coming in here. This is where the change needs to be made in this area of home and family. This is you standing your ground. I feel like it's like, yeah, you may have your armor up in a certain situation, and there's real need for you to follow your heart right now, Leo, and not to simply assume that the past is going to repeat itself and not to repeat past patterns. There's a chance here for you to do something new, to move away from stress, to be recognized for your work and what you're doing, and to make some certain changes that are going to actually bring you emotional satisfaction and happiness. But it involves getting out of your head a little bit, being open to the unexpected, and not being afraid if something is meant to come to an end, not being afraid of that. Okay, so I hope this reading was helpful for you, Leo. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in October.